front of the mirror. No, Jay, I didn't really
that's good practice right there. That's great practice.
Right, so here we go. Welcome to Radcast. This is going to be our new YouTube sort of chat amongst friends. Pretty much just wanted to be a fairly straightforward chat, like nothing too difficult. Drop some comments down below. We can use those in the next episode and things like that. But pretty much today we're joined by Quan all the way from North Carolina.
Yo.
Here he is.
What's up, everybody?
UncleQuan on YouTube. I'll drop all links and everything down in the descriptions. You can click on them. You can go and visit their channels, Instagrams, everything like that. And then we also have Andy, aka DaftBubble, from down the street from me, to be honest. We're both Ashford boys. I wasn't born and raised here, but yeah. So I think what we'll do, we'll go over to one of you two. Who wants to go first?
It doesn't matter, man. I can go ahead and start it over.
Well, we're going to Quan first. Introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself, gaming history. Just a brief sort of introduction to the world of Quan.
So what's up, everybody, man? It's your boy UncleQuan, aka Quan. Whatever you want to call me. Gaming, man, is literally my life. I've been playing PlayStation literally since I can remember my first gaming memory. Gaming is very therapeutic for me, so it's literally my escape from reality. It's very hard to kind of go through, just being a black man in America generally. So that's my escape. That kind of helps me to stay grounded, and it's just fun. It's always fun to share that gaming experience with people from around the world, and just a lot of different cultures and just exploring different things with different people. And we all have that same thing in common. So yeah, man, that's definitely a little bit about me.
And I think we're going to have very different views on certain games as well. I think we've got very different styles in what we put our time into. But yeah, let's go over to Andy. Your turn, Andy. Step up to the mic.
What up, Andy?
All right. Well, hi, everyone. I am Andy, also known as DaftBubble. I live, as Ryan said, just down the street from him, from Ashford. I have been gaming for a very long time, pretty much since I was a newborn, I believe. Or at least.
He was dropped onto the Wii Fit.
Well, you make me sound like I'm young.
Yeah, good point.
I've been playing games since they were on cassette. So ZX Spectrum to the Amiga 500 to the NES, the SNES, the Sega Mega Drive 16 to 32-bit, wasn't it? And to
PlayStation. Yeah,
gradually going up. I've only got to the point of PS4 Pro. I'm still waiting for a PS5.
I'm surprised we invited you into the podcast, to be honest, because you don't have a PlayStation 5 yet. I'm joking. Do you know what? And I'll say this, and I mean it wholeheartedly. You're not really missing anything at the moment.
No. Yeah, honestly,
it's boosted some games, but it hasn't brought much to the table. Like especially at the moment, most games are on both anyway. You
We're
just maybe get that.
PS4 games.
God of War just got the 60 patch, which is outstanding. It's really nice. It's not a game I'm going to go through, but tested it out, and we just had Destruction All Stars. You're not missing anything on that. They really like missed out on that. I thought that game was going to be great, and to be honest, it was meant to be a launch title, and it was the game I was going to get. And if I paid money for it, I would have been really upset.
I just got it for free not too long ago.
Exactly. And especially I bought the digital PS5 because I share games with my wife. I was lucky enough to get 2 PS5s. I'm not bragging. I just got in there on the pre-order. I didn't realize there was going to be such scarcity. But yeah, to be honest, I think even the most of this year, I don't think you're going to miss out on too much. Just maybe 4K 60 is going to be it. There's a few exclusives, I think, coming this year. But I got a feeling most of them, if it's exclusive to PS5, I think they'll be delayed. Because they're going to want to they're going to want to push them when people have PS5s. And more people, they're going to, so like God of War, if they do that across both, then maybe they won't delay it. But if they do make it PS5 exclusive, that's not going to come this year.
Usually the big titles are usually delayed anyway, man.
Yeah.
I feel like God of War is definitely going to be delayed.
Do you know what? That should be on my talking point, because my biggest pet peeve is announcing the game way before, and then just delaying it. And I'm like, why did you?
What gaming?
Like,
what gaming company is famous for that? Naughty Dog. Like, I remember they announced Uncharted 4.
Yeah,
I believe it was 2016. No, it came out in 2016, I believe. I don't know. Whatever year it came out in, it literally came out like 3 or 4 years after it was announced. And I'm just like, man, like, when is this game coming out? And it was the same thing with Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Like, waiting on that game for years.
I get they want to generate the hype, and they're probably cashing in on some of the pre-order money and things. A lot of places don't even take the money beforehand. But it just baffles me. Like when they did the PS5 showcase last year, which, when was that? September, maybe, something like that. It was quite late, wasn't it? And then they announced Riders Republic, right? That's my game. Like, that's what I want. I just did like a top 6. My top 6 anticipated games. If I did an order, that'd be number 1, because I'm a big fan of those style of games, Steep and sort of Tony Hawk and all that sort of stuff. And then I was like, yeah, February. And no word of a lie, I was watching a trailer. And one thing I've never done on my channel is like a trailer reaction to a game. And I looked at it in January, and I was like, oh man, maybe I should just, I don't know, just for something different, I'll just do a video on this saying I'm looking forward to playing this in February. The very next day, when I sat down to do it, it came out saying it'd been delayed. I was like, damn it.
Oh, man.
Now I got to, I don't know, play out a rally or something. Damn it. I got to make a video of something. But yeah, I do not understand especially putting a release date on a game. It makes no sense. Like, until the game's done, if they came out with The Last of Us Part 2 and said, here's The Last of Us Part 2, it's finished and it's coming out in 6 months' time, they would have sold the exact same amount of copies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. I don't know why they do that. Like, it's just they're building up the hype and just grabbing money, man, over time. It's just
getting people excited just to upset them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't we talk about that? Why don't you talk about The Last of Us Part 2? So now I'll have to sit this out. Oh yeah. I've not played it.
You haven't played Last of Us 2?
Well, see, I played the first one and I was like, like, I preferred Uncharted. So, and yeah, it didn't grab me the same way as it grabbed everyone else. I didn't dislike it, and I really enjoyed the multiplayer. Like, I was really into like the It was you realize it's quite limited after you play sort of hours on hours of it, but I thought that was a good laugh. But yeah, it didn't grab me. And then the second one, all along I was saying, nah, it's not a game for me. It looks miserable.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an emotional roller coaster, man.
But I did talk to Andy around the time it came out, and I did see you play it all the way through, and I actually watched most of your playthroughs on it. But yeah, go ahead. What do you think of The Last of Us Part 2?
You want to go first?
Because I've only played like sort of like the first 2 hours of it, and then I put it to bed for now. Obviously,
okay.
I'll let you go first, because I know you've been playing it.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna go ahead and say I like the first one maybe twice as better. The first one is literally my favorite game of all time. But the second one, I think it was great. Especially the gameplay. Gameplay was sick. Graphics are amazing. It's just literally like a
it does look
movie.
Outstanding.
Yes, it's crazy, and they do a great job of just having the player on their toes. Like, it's just so many like twists and turns and just surprises throughout the game, and it just keep you on your toes. But I will say the ending is what kind of had me going, okay, I'm left a little with a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
But just going from like an overall experience, the story element, it was pretty good, along with the gameplay and all that stuff. So I don't know, man.
Now, spoilers, I mean, like, this game's been out for ages, and if you don't know the ending or the story and you're interested in this game, I don't know why you haven't played it and haven't found out yourself. But anyway, from what I gather, main man gets killed quite early on, right? I watched that. That was good. I was like, that's pretty cool. Didn't care, like, had no investment in him, so it didn't resonate with me, I guess. Yeah. And then you play as both, like the baddie and the goodie, I guess, the good girl and the bad girl, depending on sort of how you see them. And then at the end, you play as the good girl, but she lets the bad girl go, right? So like it's like a tale of revenge.
Pretty much.
And then just, and then her girlfriend's left, right? Like she goes back home. Yeah. See, man, I watched your playthroughs. I'm not lying. I watched it.
Yeah, man. It was just, I like what they did with kind of justifying Joe's death, the guy that died. But a lot of people were upset with how he died and the fact that he died so early on. It just like, okay, you just killed off my man just so you could create a story. But seeing it from a different perspective, I see why they went in that direction. The story was kind of going in the direction of like revenge. So they killed off Joel, somebody so close to Ellie, and they wanted the players to feel that. You know what I mean? Just going through, killing everybody, trying to get revenge, and just kind of on a journey of Ellie's story. And it's a lot of emotions and stuff going on. So yeah, I mean, they killed off Joe. I didn't like it, but I mean, like I said, I understood it. And then like when they had us playing from Abby's perspective, she also was going through like a lot of emotional trauma and stuff like that because she lost her dad. Yeah,
didn't he kill her dad in the first one? Is that right?
Exactly.
And she's like young, like quite a bit younger or something. So like he didn't recognize her in the second one. Is that right?
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I see what they did with that, but I mean, personally, I would have just preferred to play as Ellie the whole game. So yeah, I can see why people don't like it.
From a gameplay perspective and graphically, like you said, I think from that I thought it looked outstanding.
Beautiful.
Quite a few like little references. You know, you see it like one of them playing like the Vita, and you know you see things like that throughout it. But I don't know, like story wise, I had no investment, so it didn't draw me in, and there's too much other stuff to play that had color to it and fun to it, and you know, neon. I'm a sucker to that.
What would you think, Andy?
Well, so the first one I absolutely adored. I loved it.
Yes.
I wouldn't go along as far as to say it was like a masterpiece. Everyone says a masterpiece. I think it was just a very good game and a very good but simple storyline. It's, you know, you play as a random guy that's gone through this weird pandemic where everyone's into a like sort of monster zombies and whatnot, and he, at the beginning of the first one, he's trying to escape the small town that he's in, and obviously he then witnesses betrayal, which is essentially of these army, you know, trying to escort people out, and then they get to a certain limit, and then they're like not letting anyone else out, and then they say, right, you got to kill everyone off, and obviously he sees he gets shot, and you know, and then from there on it skips like 10 years after that, and I became quite invested with Joel because obviously he is a man now who's gone through that, and the last 10 years he's all about survival. And he'll do anything to do it. And I, you know, throughout that whole gameplay of the first one, you know, you meet Ellie. He doesn't really like her at first. He only had a job to just the fireflies, and that was it. He didn't care whatever.
Yeah.
He obviously built that bond with Ellie, which is like the bond that he kind of was denied with his own daughter. And throughout that whole period of the first game, you know, you basically hear and you hear about what he's done in the past. I remember there's one thing that's actually very vivid in my mind is that you remember you get the car in the first one and he's driving, and then he then encounters a bloke who stops to beg.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I need to help this guy. And Joel's like not having any of it. He's like, no way. Crap. And she's like, well, how do you know? It's like, well, I've done what he's done. And it's basically telling you that this man that you're controlling has done horrible and bad things just for to survive.
I wish they would have went in depth about that in the second one there.
Yeah, but the thing is, I knew that he was a bad man, but I was controlling that bad man who's sort of becoming like a good man. Doing bad things to survive. Dog eat dog. It's in that world, it's a horrible world. You can't trust people.
Very, very Rick Grimes, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
Is he a good guy or is he the bad guy? You know.
Exactly. And then it's like The Walking Dead. You know, as you watch the series, you realise actually,
it's really boring. What? Unsubscribe. Jeez.
But basically, at the end, obviously, he made a decision where obviously he finds out that Ellie's obviously immune to pandemic, and the only way to save everyone really is to kill her.
That's right. They need to basically extract her blood or something. Is that right? And they
had to like take some out of her brain.
Exactly. Yeah. So he made that choice not to do that. He said find someone else because he obviously built that bond. And arguably at the time when I played it, I thought, yeah, he's done the right decision. He saved the girl. I realised actually, logically, he's actually just catastrophically, caused basically.
Yeah, and I think sort of from games. Andy, you know this because I bang this drum constantly. I never play a game for story because I couldn't care less. If there's a cutscene, I can't skip it. It normally puts me off the game. That's why I didn't play the remake of Final Fantasy. I'm like, nah. Like it looks really good when there's combat, but if I can't skip these blimming cutscenes, I'm out. And I don't do open world. I know Last of Us isn't open world. Those are pretty much my two. That said, how awesome is Ghost of Tsushima? Open world. Now, I didn't play. I must have played maybe I played maybe an hour or two. And in fact, I screen shared this with Andy, sort of the day of its release. And I was like, just look how bad this is. You can run through all the bamboo trees. It's atrocious. There was so much I hated with the game, like just on a technical level and not being able to climb down wherever I wanted or climb up wherever I wanted. It just really annoyed me.
Yeah, the climbing mechanics were very
really bad. But then I put it down. I didn't play it again. But when the PS5 came out, I saw that's got the patch, that got the 60 FPS patch.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll give it a go. And I did like the combat. And I always said I like the combat from that. And then that was it. I think in 3 days, I just did the story, a few side missions here and there. Because the annoying thing is when I transferred it across to PS5, I lost all my save. So I had to literally start from the beginning. And I did it in less than a week. I didn't play it every day, but less than a week. I just sort of blitzed through that. And I'm not going to go back and do side quests or anything. I'm not a platinum trophy hunter or anything. So, I had my time with it and I actually really enjoyed it. But I still stand by the fact I wish I could just go from mission to mission without riding my horse from mission to mission. As good looking as that game is. Oh, that side of it just does me in.
You just don't do open world, do you?
I don't. And when me and Andy first started talking, he saw he's like, well, I was looking at your trophies. You got the trophy for like the platinum for Horizon Zero Dawn. I was like, yeah, I do. And you know what? I've never played it. That was my wife.
Oh, yeah.
She played it on my account.
I remember you telling me that.
And then when she did it, I was like, well, cheers for that. She had done it on your account.
Oh, yeah. She was grinding, man.
Yeah. So she's done that. And she's done Assassin's Creed. She loves all that. But yeah, it's not for me. But
nice.
I think the reason it's not for me is because I know it's such an investment to start a game like that. Going into Assassin's Creed, you're there for 100 hours. And I got 100 hours I want to put into a million games,
Yeah, I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. Going back to like Ghost of Tsushima.
Or Tsushima.
Tsushima. Yeah.
I don't know.
I always pronounce it wrong, man. I personally have a lot of mixed emotions about Ghost of Tsushima. It's a fun game, but I feel like it was definitely overhyped. It's an okay game to me. I would say it's good. Not great, but it's good. I played it on PS4 Pro. Tried to record it for the channel because I had a lot of people who wanted to see me play that game. So I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And it was just one of the biggest games of the year. So I figured it'll help the channel. And I enjoyed it. I liked the story for like how far I got. And then like the combat was fun. I didn't like it at first, but I got used to it.
Yeah.
But the game is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
For some reason, my PS4 Pro, when it recorded videos, it would skip. So that was a frustrating thing. And then like when I finally got the PS5, I was like, okay, now I can get some good quality videos and continue from that. But like just like you, I had to start over. Like I transferred everything over, but God of War and Ghost of Tsushima, they were the only two games that didn't have all my data on there. So I got overwhelmed. I was like, man, I got so far, so I don't really want to go back and do all that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was lucky. I didn't put that much time into it to begin with. I did maybe 3 hours when it first came out. And so, you know, I was missing those few hours, which is a bit tedious going back and doing the exact same thing, but sort of, you know, I had a bit more of an idea what I was doing, so I could. You've not played it, have you, Andy?
No, not played it. I'm waiting for the PS5 to play that. So
yeah, that's understandable.
So let's move into I was going to say let's move into what we're playing now. So Andy, go on. We know you are hundreds of hours deep into Cyberpunk.
I am hundreds and hundreds of I'm about 100 hours into Cyberpunk now, and I have probably done a quarter of the main story. I've actually been doing all the side missions because I'm known for this in open world games. So I like to sort of like do all the side missions to build your character up and then make the main quest a lot more easier for me. But I've heard with Cyberpunk is that if you just go through all the main storyline, you don't get to go back to do the side quest. That's it.
It locks some of them out. Yeah. And the main story is like 20 hours or something, right?
Yeah. So that's it's actually, you know, as much as I really love the game, that's actually quite a problem for me because why why can't I be?
I just want to get to the point.
Yeah.
You know, why can't I just, you know, go back and do it? So I'm only presuming something happens at the ending that means that the character I control, you know, doesn't get a chance to go back. I don't know. But I will say this, obviously, because, you know, when you say Cyberpunk 2077, it comes with a lot of negative sort of
yeah. I think it's fair to say they didn't have the best launch.
No, not the best launch, and prolonging the game for the first sort of like month and so or 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people were having problems. I was the very fortunate one. It seemed, and I can't speak on behalf of all PS4 Pro console owners, but it appears that mine was running absolutely fine. It's on 30 frames a second. It's a solid 30 frames per second. Graphically, I'm playing it in 4K. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I like the layout of it. You know, the city layout, the aesthetics. It's absolutely beautiful. But I will say this: they've made a big deal about making this is like really unique. Oh, I think we've run out. Time's run out. Did you get that, Ryan?
No.
No. Oh, it's saying time's running out. Okay, well, I'll ignore that then.
No, still going strong. Still going strong.
Cut that bit out. It's
time is
weird.
infinite. Time is infinite.
Fair enough. So no, they made a big.
Oh, Andy, you've gone.
Am I gone?
No, I'm joking. You're still there.
No, they made a big hoo-ha about this like being like a unique game. It's not. It's like a game. It looks really pretty. I love the city, but I find the game mechanics are very outdated even now. I think it's like playing Skyrim. And it sounds really, really off-putting. It's still great because you've got the beautiful layout of the city and you've got the storyline, you've got the side quests. You get all heavily invested in that. It's fun, but it's not unique. It's not unique. I don't know. Like for the longest time, I was like, you know what? Like I don't do open world story games, but I like the aesthetic. This could be a game that like I play. You will like this. I think you will like this.
Well, then. Then I was one of the only ones who didn't get it, and I'm like, woof.
You missed. Well, I don't think you haven't missed out because, like I say, I was speaking to my friend the other day. You know, they've done the 2 big patches now.
Yeah.
And he says on his PS5 it's still crashing, and it crashes more when you're in the city.
Yeah.
He's actually managed to do one gameplay. He's done the whole game already. He's stuck with it because he enjoyed it that much. But he's saying he's going to wait for the proper PS5 version now, which is coming out.
But I mean, the thing is, Cyberpunk isn't the only game crashing on the PS5. Like I got Dirt 5, and to start with, I'd say for the first couple of weeks I was fine, and that was the only thing I was playing. And then it was just at the end of every race, every time it seemed to want to load at the end of it or save at the end of a race, it just come up. There's an error. It's crashed to the point where it stopped me playing it. And I know now I've been back a couple of times and it's been okay, but it's sort of I've moved on. And I even did a video on that about it crashing, and I had I'd say it's my most commented video, and I'm still even up until last week I still have people saying this game doesn't work. And and the thing is, it's not necessarily that some people, I don't know if anyone on Xbox has said it, but I've had people on PC say it, and a lot of PlayStation 5, and especially around Christmas time, that video was just bombarded because I guess people got it for Christmas and they're like, I can't play it. And then what they were finding they had to do was basically download the PS4 version and play that on their PS5. And if they did the PS5 version, they couldn't load it. So there's like really different degrees of issues with that. So that could also, some of those crashes from Cyberpunk could be a PlayStation issue more so than a Cyberpunk issue. That's the only game I've experienced on the PlayStation 5 actually crashing. But it's not fun because it just puts you off. It stops you wanting to go back to that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Cyberpunk, I don't know. It was just, it never caught my attention. I don't know. It was something I wouldn't mind playing. It was something like, okay, if my subscribers or followers want me to play it, I'll play it. And I didn't get it on launch day, but I planned on getting it a couple weeks later. And just when I went to get it, it wasn't available on the PlayStation
store
anymore.
Right. It's still not back on either, is it? It's gone. They still not put it back.
Yeah.
So,
there's like a lot of bad reviews on it too. It was just like a lot of crashes and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, do I waste money?
Yeah, I also had that issue when I first loaded it up. I sort of like, as I do when I see something disappointing, I tell myself, "Come on, it's okay, it'll be fine." It's what I do. When I first loaded up Cyberpunk on the PS4 Pro, the graphics it was awful. It was rubbish. It was blurry.
Oh, really?
My TV. I went through it to try and make it right.
Yeah.
And then I realized no. And apparently, as soon as they did that, those first, I think it's the first one or two small patches.
Yeah.
The upgrade went up, but yeah, it was atrocious. It was like it sounds like I'm a snob. It was like 720p resolution.
Oh man,
what are you playing on? Xbox S. Jesus. I love Xbox. But yeah, so what are you playing at the moment, Quan? I mean, I've just been watching some of your Resident Evil 7. Side note, I gotta get this out there. If you want to hear a grown man scream, like the last one I watched, I swear it wasn't even a minute, and there's grown man screaming. And a while back, you were playing a game, and I even messaged you like, do you live on your own or do you live with people? And you're like, no, man, I live on my own. I'm like, thank God, they must be wondering what the hell's happening in your room. Like, it's just this guy screaming.
I absolutely have to be by myself when I record any series, especially a horror series. I love horror games. For some reason, I don't know, I just always had a thrill out of horror, whether it's movies, games, or just like scary mazes around Halloween. I just love horror. I don't know. Like, my mom, she calls me like an adrenaline junkie. I don't know. So, yeah, man.
Does she watch your videos? Does she listen to you screaming for like 40 minutes?
She don't know anything about my YouTube channel. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really tell her about it. She know about my gaming page and like my ambitions with gaming. She know about my hobbies and stuff like that. But like my channel specifically, I don't know. I just never really talked about it.
Yeah,
but games that I'm playing, I really had to write this down, man. I have a ton of.
This guy's got a busy channel.
Oh yeah. So games that I'm actually recording, of course, Resident Evil 7, Beyond Two Souls. That's a classic, man. It came out in 2013. It's one of the great games, one of those slept-on games, man. I'm also playing Bully on the channel, and Mafia 2, which I need to get back to soon. And then like off screen, I'm playing Days Gone. I just beat it, but I'm still playing it, like trying to get like 100%. Playing Madden 21.
60 FPS patch, right? That's at 60 now, isn't it? Days Gone. They've upped that to 60 FPS. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Playing Madden 21 for like sports reasons, and I just love football, man. The game is awful. It's awful.
Yeah, see, I was gonna get that, and you told me to pick it up. Like initially, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get that," and you're like, "Oh, it's on sale, pick it up." And then I saw like one of your videos where you said, "Like, yeah, it's not a good game."
Yeah, it's like, I'll wait. It's ass, man. It's ass. Playing a little bit of Batman here and there, Arkham Knights.
Oh yeah.
Miles Morales, I'll get on that just to record like some videos for like my swinging videos and stuff. I beat it twice.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I'll play that here and there. And then of course I'm on GTA Online just about every other day. So
right. Yeah. Let's do something here, right? Read that list again. and me and Andy will say if we played it or not.
All right.
Cool. Okay. Resident Evil 7.
No.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Beyond Two Souls.
No.
Yeah.
Nice. That was literally a flip flop. Bully.
No. Yes. Yeah, because over here it wasn't called Bully. We spoke about that, didn't we? Yeah. That threw me at it. Yeah. Played Bully.
Days Gone.
No.
Y'all haven't played that? Oh man.
No.
Well, I mean, I just played it because it was free on the PlayStation Store, so I just played it.
But no, I haven't played it.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I actually slept on it, but I'm glad I played it. Madden 21.
No.
I know you didn't play it. No, good. You're not missing. You're not missing the damn thing, man. Batman, Arkham Knight.
Yes, I got it in ultra wide on the PC. When I was like big into like everything's when everything's got to be ultra wide, I was like, oh yeah, that's free at the moment, so I picked that up.
Oh yeah.
I played it for about half an hour, and then realized it's huge. I was like, nah.
Yeah, it definitely is overwhelming at times.
But it looked nice.
Like it's a lot of missions and upgrades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. What about Miles Morales? You guys play Spider-Man?
I played the first one and I loved it. I haven't played Miles Morales again. I know it's pretty much not much difference, but I'm waiting for the PS5.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a buddy.
It'll be free as well by then. It'll be a PS Plus game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have a buddy who said he hasn't played it because he's waiting on the PS5. So
yeah,
I can definitely understand that, man.
I played the
Horizon.
Yeah, we've been over that. Yeah, I haven't played Horizon. I played the first Spider-Man again for about an hour. You know, I wanted to see like the swinging and everything, and I enjoyed it. What I played, but again, I just games like that. I just fizzle out big time. If I've got to navigate a world to get to a mission, I just get distracted, and then before I know it, an hour's gone. I haven't done the mission, and then I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Oh man, you get lost in those worlds. Huh?
I'm not a poster boy for open world. Definitely not. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, I had to write down what I was playing as well. Now, we can do the same test on whether you've played any of these. So I'm playing. Cool. I just started playing a game, right? When I was younger, I used to play a game called R-Type. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like almost like a side scrolling. You're a spaceship. You get like super powered up weapons and stuff, and you're just shooting the hell out of everything. And then like on the Super Nintendo, it was Super R-Type. That's the one I was really into. The game's just come out that look very similar on the store, and it's called, now I think I'm saying this, Habroxia 2. I'm assuming there's a Habroxia 1. But yeah, I think it's like a little indie title or something. I played about an hour of that, and I was really enjoying that. And then that was the day before Bowser's Fury turned up. So I've been playing that, and that's really good. I mean, that's the only reason I got a Switch is for Nintendo exclusives, I guess, or at least some Nintendo, Mario, Zelda, that sort of stuff. And yeah, I'm really enjoying Bowser's Fury. That's great fun. Blue Fire, I'd say this. I mean, even today, I put like 3 hours into this game. And Blue Fire, the best way to describe it, it's Wind Waker.
All right, yeah.
But it's difficult like Hollow Knight. It's like if you mash those two together, I mean, to be honest, that's also what a lot of people were saying. It's got a lot of platforming. You go into like these things called the voids, and they're rated like 1 to 5 on difficulty, and they're just strictly platforming areas. And I'd say like one of them took me like 50 attempts before I completed it.
Oh man,
they are. If there's a game this year that's going to make me just pick everything up and throw it out the window, it's Blue Fire. I don't know if I'm just really crap, but I think what it is you progress. Like I've just unlocked double jump, so I'm trying to do a lot of these hardcore challenges without the right move set. I think now I'll go back, do double jump, and I'll probably find it like 10 times easier. But yeah, fantastic. Look that up. If you like platformers with a little bit of combat and sort of puzzles, it's very much like I've gone into like 2 dungeons basically that are very Zelda-ish, not quite as involved, but that sort of style, it's like a forest one, a watery one, that sort of thing. Streets of Rage 4, just going through that with my wife at the moment. We can sit next to each other and elbow each other as well. And Art of Rally. Art of Rally is just a top-down racer that I'm completely in love with. Fantastic music, great art style, plays brilliantly. And that's about it at the moment. I'm not really playing anything. I mean, I guess Bowser's Fury, you could say, is like a, AAA sort of thing, but I don't tend to play too much of those. And so, yeah, I just sort of like Steam on PC. I just go in there and I'm just lost. There's like 20 games. I think I'll download all of them. And then half of them are crap and I never play them again. The rest of them I try and play if I've got time. But yeah, it's definitely a very varied mix of games.
Yeah. Have you been playing Apex?
Oh, not this year. My New Year's resolution is to fuck that game right off. Yeah.
I played Apex maybe like I had like a short phase where I liked the game. Played it for about like a good month. Not even a month, maybe like a couple of weeks with my brother. He had convinced me to get it because it was like free at the time.
Yeah.
And that was like the only way we could play online. He really didn't have a lot of games, and that was like one game he had. So I was like, all right, cool, let's give it a try. I was ass, man.
It's hard.
Never got better.
I
never got better.
Hands down the most difficult battle royale game.
Yeah.
Like hands down.
Yeah. Definitely.
I know Fortnite has the building, which is, technical.
Yeah,
and difficult.
I've never got.
But I can still kill people and shoot people. Got a handful of wins in Apex. But weird thing, did you do your PlayStation wrap up? Like where you can see what you've played for all of last year, like your most played games. If not, just Google like PlayStation wrap up. You put in like your PSN account name, and then it will tell you like what game you played the most. And I don't think it's right because it says I played 210 hours of Apex Legends, but I only played online for 110 hours.
Okay,
Apex is only online, so that means I played 100 hours of Apex offline. So I did a lot of training.
Wow,
man!
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. So I definitely want to look at like what games I put time into.
I think my second one was Need for Speed Heat because I platinumed that. So beginning of last year, I platinumed that because I was well into that game. It was just easy, pick up and play. The platinum wasn't difficult to get. I did make the mistake. One of the trophies was to get like you're in a crew, right? So when you load up the game, you automatically join a crew. Like it just puts you with randomers, and then you can create your own crew if you want. I think the crew you had to be level 50 to get the trophy, and the crew I joined was like level 30 something, right? I'm like, sweet, like over halfway there already, nice. Then my friend got it for Christmas, and I was like, oh, he started a crew and invited me. Went back down to 0. Oh my god. I'd done all other trophies by then. That was the only trophy I had left to do, and I did an 8-hour session. So we kept playing it loads online, and then when he gave up with the game, I just sat down one night. I was like, I'm not getting up until I've got this last trophy. And I just found like the perfect way to get all the points, do like which races to do in each order. And that was some dark grinding, man. And then I got it on PC and I nearly completed on PC and I realized, no. Like, there's too much Need for Speed.
I played Need for Speed Payback. Man, I was addicted to that game for a while, man. I was just like motivated by your channel because you were playing like a lot of race games. And so I was like, let me go ahead and get one of these race games. And like Need for Speed Payback, it was like a cheaper game because it was like older. And I downloaded it and I was playing it for a minute, like putting in like hours, unlocking cars, all that good stuff. And then I don't know, like since I got the PS5, I never really got back to it. So I want to get back to that.
I would say don't play that anymore. Just get Need for Speed Heat because it really is like just a million times better than Payback. Like everything about it, like in Payback, the way you do your unlocks, like you'll race with a car and you'll get a random part for a random car, not necessarily the car you're in. Need for Speed Heat, you get the part for that car. Like it makes more sense. And you can buy your own upgrades. You can sort of choose what you're getting rather than it just being gifted and it's not something you want. And it looks nice. It's got a really cool day and night sort of idea. Like daytime, it's like street races where you, I can't remember which way around it is. I think you make money and then you do nighttime where you do illegal races and the cops come and everything. And then that's how you get your reps. So like you have to do both to unlock cars and buy cars. It sort of works like that. And nighttime's awesome. Like, it looks really nice. It's a good looking game. It's fast.
I mean, it's in Miami, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like their own. Yeah, it's not actually. It's like their version, I guess. Yeah,
like a reimagining of. Okay, definitely beautiful.
So
definitely,
here's a age-old question: growing up, Nintendo or Sega? You can't say both, even if you had both. You have to pick one. One is better. Which one is it?
Nintendo, man. Nintendo. 100% Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo. That was my very first game system.
Yeah.
My very first one. And then I had a 64 after that one. Nintendo 64. We also had a Wii. So I've been familiar with Nintendo for a while, man.
Yeah.
So definitely Nintendo.
Yeah, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, for me, it's Nintendo. I remember
as well. It was good fun, but Nintendo was definitely the top draw for me.
Yeah, like the way it worked when I was younger, as a friend of mine got Sega consoles and I got Nintendo consoles.
Nice.
So we just go around each other's houses. And I remember one day he came around and he's like, I've got Sonic. I was like, tell me, it's Sonic with the loops. And he's like, yeah. I was like, sweet. Like, that was it. That was like, so I think it was like Master System was like normal Sonic, no loops. And then you got the Mega Drive or the Genesis. And then that's where it became, Sonic with the loops. And yeah,
it was me. I had the Nintendo consoles. My brother, who lived in the same household, had the Sega one. We used to wrestle because we used to really have full-on blown arguments. Who's best? Yeah, so we used to wrestle in my room. We like proper like punching and
man.
Yeah, brutal.
I did punch my brother once due to a game. And it was a Super Nintendo game. It was called Stunt Racer FX. Really, really bad racing game. Like just unplayable. And we were on the same team, so it's sort of like taking turns. Like, I'll do this race, you do that race, and we're trying to get through. And I lost. I lost the race. We lost. We got a game over screen, and he like pushed me off the bed. He's like, ah. I stood up. He's older than me. He's 4 years older than me. I stood up and I like hit him, and then that's it. I'm only a kid. I like leg it. I run all the way downstairs. Like, mom, Chris is gonna hit me. Chris is gonna hit me. And she's like, why? What's going on? He comes in like this. He just bloody hit me. I'm like, just. Absolutely golden.
The hit and run. That's the classic. That's the classic
hide behind my mum. Do you know what I mean? Like every time.
Right.
Still do that now.
It was between me and my brother when we played Mario Kart, and we used to do the battle one where you go around. It's like what you do it now. You go around, you get like the you hit the little question marks, and then you get
the balloons.
Yeah, the blue. That's it. Yeah, it was basically that, and I was awful because I was the younger brother. He always used to beat me, and I did exactly the same as you. But instead of hitting him in the face, I kicked him in the knackers, and then I ran.
Oh man!
Yeah, I load the guy.
I just wanted to hurt my brother. I don't want to ruin his life.
I wanted to ruin his life. It's quite personal, but yeah, I did the same. Run down the stairs, and then I made out that my brother hit me, and I used to get away with it because I was the younger brother. So.
Of course. Well, the parents just wanted you to stop, didn't they? They just want to split it up. But yeah, my brother Chris, he was older than me. He is older than me, 4 years older than me. And he got the original NES for his birthday. And we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Airwolf. Oh, Airwolf was rubbish, but great music. And Ninja Turtles, or Hero Turtles as it was called back here, we weren't allowed to call them Ninja Turtles. So all TMNT was all Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Weren't allowed nunchucks or anything like in the films. None of that was allowed to be shown. Really strange.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was an odd thing. But yeah, we got Ninja Turtles. And I remember I used to get to like Metal Leonardo up on the roof, like a metal version of the Turtles. And it'd be like, I'd get there, we'd pause the game and I'd be like, right, Chris, you got to get out. Like, I can't have you in the room whilst I'm doing this bit. And then and whoever was doing it, the other person had to get out the room whilst that person could like fully concentrate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a hard game, but like now you realize it's a hard game for the completely wrong reasons. It's just because it's made atrociously.
For no reason.
Not made well at all. But yeah, that's our first console that we got. And then so what have we got on here anyway, man? So what are you excited to play in 2021? That's this year. Just in case you have no idea of days, times, dates, years.
Man, I actually thought it was still 2020 for the longest, man. Such a long year.
Yeah, nothing's changed, unfortunately.
For me, I will say Oddworld Soulstorm. I'm a big fan of the Oddworld games. I don't know if you ever played them.
Never played them.
Never played them? Oh, you might like it.
That's with the Abe guy, right? With the funny eyes, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. As I say, the many games that I want to play right now are already out. But I've always been a big fan of the Old World series. It's quite a sort of like I find unique. I like the sort of like the little stories that they tell. It's quite brutal.
Are they puzzle games primarily, or are they action?
No, it's more action, I think.
I've never played it.
A couple of moments where you do have to sort of figure it out, because obviously you're trying to save your own race from basically slavery from I think they're called the slugs or something. There's these weird robots. I like the look of it. It's really nice. So I would say that's pretty much my go-to. But I haven't really got anything else apart from that, because all the other games I want to play are already out, like Ghost of Tsushima, and I've been waiting to play God of War for ages.
You're just excited to play your back catalogue.
I am also looking forward to playing Demon's Souls, which is already out. But
PS5. Yeah, that was a launch one, wasn't it? Yeah, no, I'm not got. What I'll say is I haven't got the patience for games like that. What I really mean is I'm shit at games like that.
So mine.
Yeah, I played Neo, and I got maybe I put maybe 50 hours into that, 60 hours into that, and that's a game that I went away from to play other things, and then I went back to it, and I couldn't play it. It's so difficult to get back into once you've left it. And then Neo 2 came out, and I was like, no, I can't do it. I tried Sekiro because I wanted to like that. I did a video called I Suckero. I just made the video because I had a funny joke. Like, the video's rubbish. It's just me dying. And then what made me turn off Sekiro on the final straw was getting to what can only be described as the biggest snake I've ever seen. And I was like, nope. I don't know if you know, but that's like a thing I can't look at, is snakes. A little bit of trivia there. That's genuinely a phobia. That if I saw a picture or something on TV, then I'd just cry. Hide behind my 2-year-old daughter. Like, she's just giggling.
On that, before I met Kayla, sorry, just quickly, the first picture she got her friend to send me, because I knew her friend, that's how I got to know Kayla. The first picture she sent me was her holding a massive python around her neck. Out of all photos she could have sent me, she sent me the one with a massive snake, and I have a thing about it.
It's just no need for them. They just don't need to be in my eye line. Yeah. And I first got with my wife, and I went round her house. She had a picture of her sister with a snake round her neck. And it was in the dinner table, and that's when she realized I was scared of snakes, because I screamed.
I used to love snakes, man. Now it's just, I don't know, they're just there.
Anyway, let's not talk about that, because my feet are off the floor.
Ryan's gonna shit himself.
Yeah, that's it. No, I'm on edge, so thank you very much. Might edit that out, because now people are going to know I'm just going to get tagged in loads of things I don't want to get tagged in.
Send you a lot of pictures of snakes.
That's why I don't have Snapchat, because people used to stitch me up on Snapchat and throwing phones and stuff, because I was so scared. But anyway, well, I digress. Let's move on. Quan, what are you excited to play in 2021?
For 2021, I'm playing Resident Evil 7 so I can get caught up, just so I can play Resident Evil 8 Village.
Oh, yes.
It's funny, I've been wanting to play Resident Evil 7 for a while. I don't know what took me so long to play that, but what motivated me was because Resident Evil 8 came out. Yeah. Well, is coming out. So yeah, getting caught up on that. And then God of War Ragnarok. Cannot wait for that, man. God of War was such a great game.
That's not coming this year.
Oh, it's not this year?
Well,
it's definitely
maybe, but these games, no.
Yeah. I definitely feel like it's gonna get delayed, maybe to like 2022 or maybe 23. Who knows, man?
Either way, right? If you think their next big exclusive, Ratchet and Clank, is in June, right? June 11th. That's annoyingly, I did a video saying I didn't know the date of that, and I was looking forward to that game, and then the very next day they released the release date. I'm like, typical. So that's June. And then they've got Gran Turismo 7, which I know that's a very different style of game, and that's got its own sort of niche market. And then you've got Horizon and you've got God of War. Yeah. I can't see both of those coming out this year.
No.
Plus, there's still going to be more to announce, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I think one of those will be pushed to next year.
Yeah,
going back to Resident Evil 8, have you both obviously a game that is highly anticipated, a horror game, that's going to creep everyone out. Have you seen the really obscure and odd like memes that go around for people's fascination with the cool lady? Is it Lady Dimitrescu? People are just
I've seen
I get it.
So many.
I get it.
Massive boot.
I get it.
Yes, man. Just this 9-foot lady with big ass boobs. Man.
Yeah.
Everybody's just obsessed with it. And I'm sitting here thinking like, nah, I gotta shoot the hell out of her, man. she's too big. She jacked me up too easy, man. I don't like that. I've seen all the memes.
I didn't like her nails, but rest of it looked all right. But yeah, that demo. I mean, Resident Evil wise, I've only ever played 1 and 2. When I say 2, I've only played the remake of 2. I didn't play the original because I never had PlayStations growing up. I always had Nintendos. And it's only when I got a bit older that I went back and played certain games from those eras. Resident Evil 1 I played because that was on I think I played that on the N64. They put that on the N64. And then I played the remake of 2 and I really enjoyed the remake of 2. And I liked that it wasn't a long game. It sort of, I was getting into it and then it just sort of ended. I was like, yeah, that's a good length game for me. I like that.
A lot of puzzles.
I
know Resident Evil 7, I would just be too uneasy to play it. That would freak me out.
I got angry playing that.
And Resident Evil 8, I ended the demo, my video of the demo. I ended that saying, "Yep, I won't be buying that."
Yeah, I remember.
and I won't. I played the demo because it was something on the PS5, and it was like there was a lot of hype around it and stuff. And I enjoyed it, but I don't think I could play a game of it. Like a full, this is my game for the next 50, however many hours, because they said that's going to be a big game. They said it's going to be a lot bigger than 7.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's gorgeous too, man.
Yeah. 100%.
As far as the Resident Evil series, that was actually my first horror experience. It was Resident Evil 1. I think I was playing it either on PS1 or Nintendo. I can't remember, but I definitely remember the main menu. And there was this eye.
GameCube. Yeah. Sorry, carry on. GameCube? Didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like in the main menu there was this eyeball. And when you click ready to play, it was like Resident Evil. And I would just get freaked out and just run out the room until it was done. And I'll peek in the room okay, are we gonna play this tonight? So I never got past the first part, man. That was one big memory.
Never got past the title sequence.
I just didn't know what I was
press
doing.
Start. No.
Yeah, man. That was my first experience, though. And since then, I've played just about all of them. I played Resident Evil 2 remake, of course. I played the third one. Don't really remember that too well. The fourth one was my favorite one of the whole series.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. The fourth one was just a classic. I played that with my brother back in the day, man. Probably beat it twice. Then Resident Evil 5, I played that a couple of times with a couple of friends. Beat it a couple of times, man. Resident Evil 6, it was meh. It was meh. Yeah. And then Outbreak. Outbreak was one of my favorites as well. That was all the Resident Evils I played.
Yeah. No, I remember the first one. I remember when you first encountered the first zombie, when the camera pans up behind the head. And you seen it turn around, had blood. That freaked me right out.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely freaked me out so much I couldn't sleep for quite a long time. That actually really put me really bizarrely just on edge. But it's really weird. Even I remember my parents. If you said Resident Evil to my parents, they will remember how I was. It proper messed me up. But after a few months, I went back to it, and then I played it and I loved it.
Toughened up. You watched all the You watched the playthroughs online, so you knew what was coming. Yeah, I know how these things work.
You had online back then.
I thought you were talking about last month. Sorry.
No, although that does still happen. But no, yeah, that proper freaked me out. But I don't know how true it is. But I heard, I remember reading it somewhere, or my parents read it somewhere, that apparently that first game wasn't necessarily meant to be an entertainment factor. It was actually like an experiment for designed for people's social behavior or how they would behave playing a game. 'Cause that was like a proper sort of like first, how can I put, horror game on a console, revolutionized game. Let's be honest, PS1, jumping from like Nintendo, Sega, for example. But I don't know how true that is. But I heard it was made to obviously for people to enjoy, but it was also made to see how people would react to it. I don't know.
Separate the men from the boys.
I didn't know that.
Definitely separated me. I've never other than 2, and I played that last year. That's the only one I've actually completed out of the 2 that I've played. It wasn't scary. I didn't find that scary at all. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. But yeah, then we've got so story or gameplay. If you had to choose one, would you take atrocious gameplay if the story was awesome, or would you rather the gameplay be there but it just be about, I don't know, nonsense?
See, me personally, man, I love games like that have a good story. Like, I don't know, I just love great storylines. And I guess I would have to choose story over gameplay. I mean, both of them are very important to me. But if I had to absolutely choose, it would be story. I don't know. It's just something that keeps me into a game to want to know more about the story and like where it's going. Like,
so you don't skip cutscenes or anything. You're in it. You're like let's sit back and chill and we're watching this. I don't care if this is a 3-hour cutscene. We're in it. We're in this. Yeah. We are Solid Snake.
Oh yeah. I'd have to go with Quan on that one as well, because I was actually leaning towards gameplay, but then I do love a decent story, and I'll go on the Legacy of Kain series. I think the first one was it was pretty good actually at the time, but when Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2 came out, I actually thought the gameplay was pants, but I generally loved it. However, I would go along with story, and the reason why I'll go with stories, as we were sort of highlighting on the first bit of the podcast, is The Last of Us Part 2. I love the story. I like the gameplay. I think the gameplay is fantastic. But the storyline killed it from the very beginning for me. I was sick and tired of it. Put it to bed. So I'll go with story.
Couldn't care less about story. I genuinely, I genuinely mean that as well. There's maybe, I don't know, Ghost of Tsushima, I enjoyed the story, but it didn't make me go back and want to platinum it or do side missions. I didn't care that much, but I did enjoy. But then those sort of films I really like as well. So it's sort of, it already drew me in because of films that I like. But yeah, I can honestly, I couldn't tell you the last game that I played where I actually paid attention to the story or didn't skip cutscenes if they could be skipped. And like I try and skip a cutscene, it says game is still loading. I'm like,
oh yeah.
You're just mugging me off now.
Like that, man. My friend from a long time, man, he hates cutscenes. Like he just want to dive right into it, man. He's very reckless on the games. Like GTA, he played GTA and didn't watch a single cutscene. He was like, "No, I want to fight. Let's go. Let's get it. I want to shoot." Oh, wow. He's just straight to action, man. I want to see that, man.
I think GTA is probably the game GTA 5 anyway. It's probably the game I have started the most and never completed.
Yeah. Oh man,
I genuinely cannot count how many times I've started that game because I downloaded on PC to have it in ultra-wide. So I started again, got it on PS5 so I could play with my brother, and I went through the opening bit. Then me and my wife were going to play it, and then we had to go through it, and then she went through the opening. When it was on the PS3, went through the opening bit. PS4 went through man. And then I got a PS4 Pro, and I didn't carry over my saves, and I had to start it. Oh man. I've seen the opening to that game so many times. It's unreal.
I've played it. I've beat it 3 times now. So yeah,
I've only played it
like twice, I think.
That game is the definition of why I don't play open world games, and that's because
very ambitious, man.
Oh, I want that car, not the car I'm in. So I go and get that car, and then I run someone over. Then the police are after me, and I think, oh, this is fun. I'll climb up the roof, and then I'll time some cheats, and then I'm rocket launchering everyone. And 3 hours have gone by, and not a single mission has been completed. And I'm like, oh man. And then
it's easy to get lost.
And it just happens every time. And me and my wife trying to play through Division 2 at the moment, and that is prime example of that as well. It's
how is that game, man? That game, I really want to play it. I love
the shooting in that game. The shooting mechanics and the loot system, I really, really enjoy. Again, I wish you could just sort of make a beeline, sort of just go on a map and just spawn to the next mission point.
Yeah, like a little fast travel.
Because I'll be running from point A to point B, and like me and my wife, we're just getting a massive shootout. We're shooting loads of people. Big dudes come up, load there's like enemies that have like yellow health bars, and they're sort of like the bosses sort of thing. Yeah. We take them out, and then like we're there for like half an hour shooting all these people, and they're great. Everything's just kicking off, and then I'm like, oh man, it wasn't even the mission. And like we genuinely thought we were just like in the mission, and it just all this stuff's kicked off, and they were like, right, let's try and go to the mission, and then you make a conscious effort to sort of avoid enemies because you're just not getting anywhere, and that's why the games feel so big, because you play it for an hour but only do one mission in that time. But I enjoy it. It's not. I can't play it for too long at a time. Like we maybe sit down for an hour and do a mission if we're lucky, and then move on. Go and play Rocket League or something. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's good, nice. but it's good. Again, story wise, things like that. Couldn't tell you what's going on. Some loot, and I'll pick it up, and it's like a cassette tape or something. So that's giving you some lore, like someone's recorded something and left it there. And it's like hold to stop. Yeah, I'll hold to stop that. I don't want to hear him talking to me.
It's very similar to the first one. I think the second one, you pick up certain sort of cassettes or whatever. Yeah, you pick up sort of lore of what's going on in a certain area. I actually have to admit those didn't really appeal to me either. Even though, as I just said, I'm more of a story telling than anything. But the first Division, the story didn't really grab me. But the actual
I
couldn't tell you what the story is, other than the fact there's some dudes I've got to shoot.
Yeah, global.
You need to go there and shoot some people. Every mission is exactly the same.
Yeah,
go to this area, shoot waves and waves of people, and then get hopefully a better weapon by the end of it, and job done. That's the Division 2, but it plays nicely. I do like the way it plays, and they've just done a patch on the PS5, so that's now 60 frames, and it runs quite nicely. So
nice.
But yeah, I think I don't know how long we've been chatting. It doesn't actually give me a timer, but we're doing well. Hour and a half almost, I think. So maybe we'll make this well. I tell you what, we've got 2 more to go, and they sort of tie into each other. So the first one, what do you think of the casting of the people that are now playing the characters from The Last of Us Part 2? Is it Pedro Pascal? I couldn't tell you the girl's name. And you know her from, I think, a couple of scenes in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't know how she is.
I think screen time, she's probably got 10 minutes in total out of the entire thing. So she wasn't like a main character or anything. She had like a couple of moments, and was quite like a tough young girl, and she kills a giant at some point, and it was all right. But
so
she was in a crappy season, so nothing could redeem that. And then you got a guy from Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Personally, when they announced that they were having a TV show for The Last of Us, I didn't know how I felt about that. I feel like you should just kind of leave it as the game. The game was just already great. But I was thinking the only way that would kind of be good, or at least in my opinion, is if it was kind of like a Walking Dead type of thing. Like the game's characters are very different from the show. So I don't know. I was hoping they would go in that direction, like with like different characters in that same.
So it wasn't necessarily based on Joe and Ellie. It was like based on just some random characters or maybe side characters or something. Like something like that.
But I'll watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it and give it a chance and see if I like it. I'm open to it.
I think
didn't they want didn't they want Nathan? Is it Nathan Drake? Didn't they originally what the fans wanted? Wasn't it Nathan Drake to be to play John? Is his name Nathan Drake?
Nathan Drake, Andy, is a fictional character.
Yeah, that's Uncharted.
He can't play another fictional character in real life.
No, what's his name? He's in Firefly. What's his name now? He was in Firefly.
Oh, he did the fan thing for he did a fan fiction or a fan made film of Uncharted, didn't he? Which was pretty cool. Where he gets like captured and stuff. That was pretty decent. No, I literally hadn't heard anything about. I knew they were making a show because why wouldn't they? It's popular. But I haven't heard anything about casting until yesterday when I saw that, and I just thought, oh, all right. They've picked someone that's popular at the moment. Maybe not. I don't know. Not necessarily the right person. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I didn't play the second game. I only played the first. But yeah, then that brings us on to what's your favorite video game movie? And you can't say Resident Evil because it's cheating because it's fantastic. All right.
I'm gonna
I've only seen one Resident Evil movie.
You're lucky. You're lucky you haven't seen more than one.
I'm going to say Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
It really, really sort of had. I mean, you think the game was brutally violent, and the film wasn't.
Have you seen it recently?
Huh?
Have you seen it as an adult?
Man, it's awful.
I love it. It's so cheesy and rubbish. I still love it.
Fair enough.
So. I don't know why. Yeah, I think you just sometimes where you play. I mean, Mortal Kombat's been there since we were young kids, and it's strong now. It's the same with Street Fighter. So I think you just appreciate the fact that I mean, if they didn't make that film and they made it now, then I would hate it. I would hate it.
Well, they're making a new one. You see, they've been putting some casting out for the new Mortal Kombat. I'm not sure if it's a film or a show. I think it's a TV show. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. For me, you've got the cool answer, and then you got my real answer. So my cool answer is like Escape from New York, right? Or Escape from LA. Kurt Russell is playing Solid Snake. That's the cool answer. The real answer, best game to film, is Sonic. Like it's amazing.
Sonic. I still haven't seen Sonic.
Oh man, this is so good.
Oh, it's incredible.
They just announced the teaser for the second one as well, and the number 2's got like tails on it, and I was like, nice. I'm all in on that. They did such a good job. It was so funny.
Yeah,
really, really good. Really good. But
I remember when the trailer first came out, they literally got bullied into fixing them, man.
Yeah. See, yeah, I have an idea on that. I don't know. I think they did that deliberately. I think they did that. Like they say, there's no such thing as bad publicity, or all publicity is or even bad publicity is publicity, or whatever the saying is. But you release something out into the world looking like that, be like, right,
everybody's gonna have a reaction.
Let's just sit back. Like we know full well this isn't what it's gonna look like. We're just gonna wind them up, and this will get a massive buzz about it. And then everyone that's kicked off about it will go and see it because they'll be like, that's changed because of us. And then they
I mean, it's smart though.
No, it wouldn't surprise me if they did do that. Very clever. It would be very clever.
Yeah, I mean, could be totally wrong. Maybe they just completely ballsed up and thought, Sonic looks great. But I enjoyed that. I thought it was funny. Jim Carrey back at being Jim Carrey.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a while since he's been in a film as himself. He doesn't need to act anymore. He just goes in and becomes Jim Carrey in a different costume.
Yeah.
Well, he was very funny.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I gotta watch that. I might watch it tonight, man. I got time.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll end on one more. Now? I can ask you this every episode, and I bet your answers change. Well, mine will anyway. What's your favorite games? If you could, I don't know, say 3 games. You don't have to think too hard. I mean, we know that Quan's is going to be Last of Us at number 1.
Yep.
I already got mine. So
go on him.
So I would say the first one is Bloodborne.
Nice.
Yeah, never played it.
I won't go on. We'll save that for another podcast because I'll go on forever. But Bloodborne.
Andy's spin-off show about Bloodborne.
Yeah, and the second one, which I will also go on about, but I will leave it for now, is Thief: The Dark Project, which came out on the PC.
Okay.
Bloody love that game so much, and I
never played any games in the Thief series.
It's like I say, I'll only go on. So we'll leave I will go on. It's that special to me. And the third one is Apex. I'm only kidding.
It can be Apex.
No, it isn't.
It can be Apex.
No, it isn't. My third one, I would say, would have to be probably Final Fantasy VII. So
the original.
The original. I haven't played remake. God, there's like so many games I need to play. But, yeah,
I tried the demo. There was too many cutscenes in the demos. I'm not buying a game of cutscenes. Sod that.
You don't really get many cutscenes in the original, to be perfectly honest. They obviously just added those in.
Yeah, let's bulk it out.
How many Final Fantasies are there? There's a lot of those games. I haven't played a single one.
Yeah, if it's numbered, is it 15 if it's numbered? But then there's like some of them have got like 0.2 and I don't know. There's an online one. I don't know.
They did Final Fantasy 10 and then they did Final Fantasy 10.2.
I'm sure you can imagine that Final Fantasy games are not up my street.
No.
There's only one turn-based combat game that I stuck with until the end, and that was South Park: Fractured Butthole.
That one, but the first one.
I can't do turn-based combat.
To be fair, not all the Final Fantasy games are my cup of tea either. I mean, the more recent ones, I got to about 10 actually, but I'll get to about Final Fantasy 10 and then that was it.
Yeah, I think the more recent ones are not turn-based, are they? They're more sort of different elements to it. But right, come on, Quan, on the spot. Name 3 games.
My top 3 is, of course, The Last of Us. Amazing game.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I would say Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Amazing. Just all around amazing. Like that would actually be like my 1B. But my third one is GTA San Andreas. That's always gonna be a classic, man. It's
all right, yeah.
Beautiful game.
I'm in there with that. Get that jetpack and I'm a happy boy.
Yeah. I still know the cheat code off of like just pure memory for the jetpack.
That's amazing.
Still know
it. Wouldn't have a clue. I did buy, what did I buy? I bought a GameCube game. Samurai Jack, right? I bought Samurai Jack for the GameCube. Nice. I bought that. It was last year I bought it. And if I had it to hand, I'd show you. And when I opened it out, it still had cheat codes like written on a piece of paper in there. And I bought it secondhand from eBay and the cheat codes were in there. I was like, there's quality.
You know,
I didn't use them. You know, I played an hour of the game and I was like, I'll just get the new one instead. I wanted to go through the old one before I went back through I wanted to go back through the old one before I went through the new one. No, didn't play either really. So yeah, so you did number 1, number 2, what? Yeah. No, nice.
Red Dead and then GTA.
Yeah. San Andreas, I put a lot of hours into that. And I remember when that first came out, and I lived with a few like housemates, and we were all playing that game, and one of my friends came around and he's like, "Oh, how far are you?" I said, "Oh," and this is classic Ryan in an open world where missions don't get completed. I was like, "I'm not really far at all. I've stolen some cars and stuff." I said, "But I have been using the photo mode because you had an actual camera, couldn't you? Right?"
Oh yeah.
And I'll get him to vouch for this. There must have been like 50 plus photos of just dead people. Like that was it. Like in the ponds, in like on the roads, like just wherever I was like, run someone over. It was just this thing. I was just like, check out this photo album. Oh man, good job I didn't have a YouTube channel then. That would have been pretty awkward.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I get distracted, and I see something, I'm like, I'll go do that instead.
Right. That world was just way ahead of its time, man.
Top 3 favorite games as of now. Vanquish. This is not, I can't do a particular order, but in the top 3 is Vanquish. That is, I've always said ever since I first played down the PS3, if I could make a game, that's what I'd want to make. I love that game wholeheartedly. I think it's fantastic. It does have cutscenes you can't skip, but only because they're disguising loading screens. So I let it off for that reason. You can skip some of them. And the final boss of that game is one of my single most favorite gaming experiences I've ever had. Like, I don't know if you've ever played it, but basically you're in a suit, like a sort of, I wouldn't say it's a mech suit, but it's like a robotic suit. You're this cool dude, Sam Gideon. And I think like the story is you're a quarterback and stuff, and you get this cool suit and you just go out basically to war and you just fight some aliens. And you have like these boosts. So like the sort of hook of the game was you press the boost button, you drop down to your knees, you like skid along the floor, and then you can do like bullet time, so you can slow everything down and shoot.
That's lit.
And it honestly, man, I highly recommend it. It was very like point A to point B sort of gameplay as well, you know, no open world or anything like that. It's amazing. And then at the end he's like, you gotta unrestrict my suit. And she's like, we can't, it's too dangerous. And then she unrestricts your suit, and you got to fight these two like baddies who are basically like the same as each other. They're flying around, you're just bombing around, you're doing slow-mo, you're like jetting around I just, when I finished that, I was fun, like, that's one of the best for me. Like, that was just one of my favorite gaming experiences I've ever had. Another one in my top 3. See, this is tricky. Every time I say Mario Brothers 3, I play Mario World and prefer it. Every time I say Mario World, I play Mario Brothers 3 and I prefer it. So
I thought you'd go 3D World. I thought you'd go 3D World. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah. I'm trying to do the cool answers, Andy. Thanks for calling me out on that. I genuinely, I recently didn't go back through the entire game, but I started playing randomly on my Wii U. I've got Mario World just on my Wii U. So I started playing that, and I love it. And I think Mario World beats Mario 3 for me. Very happy with that. So that's, so Vanquish, Mario World. And then I really cannot think of another game that I could put there that I won't change next week. You know,
Apex Legends.
Huh?
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends. If I was doing a game, if I was doing a list of games that make me want to just put everything in a box and throw it out the nearest window, Apex Legends would be right up there. Definitely. Blue Fire would be right up there. But no, I don't know, man. Like, for me, like I always said, and I will put this one on the list for pure nostalgia. And if I could own not the one-up version of the arcade cabinet, if I could own the proper version of the arcade cabinet, then number 3 on my list would be the original Turtles arcade game. Right? Yeah. Memories of that playing. I've got 3 older brothers. We used to play 4-player on that every time we'd go to town to the arcade. Nice. We'd sit. I was Mike all the time. Like Mikey was my boy because I was a big fan of nunchucks because they were illegal in the UK at that time. So I was like, ooh. I don't know why. Could do less damage with that than you could with a sword. But you know, fine. I didn't make the rules. But yeah, like I still play that. I literally have that on my phone. I have it on my PC. And if I could own the arcade cabinet for that, which it just wouldn't fit anywhere, it's enormous, then I would put that there. But that's mainly more for nostalgia purposes than pure gameplay. But I still think it's got some of the best pixel art ever. Yeah, it's incredible. Love that. Nice. So I'll say those, but next week you'll ask me and I'll be like, I've never even heard of Vanquish. I hate Turtles. I don't know what the other one was I said, so it could be anything. But yeah, it's hard to pick a top 3, but it's always fun to think of games you know that you haven't played for a while. And I think, man, I mean we've been going, I'd say we've been going for an hour and a half. It was easy. Like
I think it'd be like that all the time.
I mean, I spoke for an hour, I'd say. Maybe I'll condense it down to 5 minutes once I remove all the false starts that I had. Psyching myself up, pretending to drink out of my mug. You see it? Don't know if that's the right way. Be my boo. I got it for you for Valentine's, Andy, but unfortunately we're in lockdown, so I couldn't bring it around. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll call it there for this first edition. You know, it's been great. Like, it's been really, really good.
Oh yeah, definitely fun, man.
It'll be like that. There's so much to talk about. I think, you know, I think they're all going to be like this, man, which is good.
It's just easy to talk to people that like games. You know, it's, you know, and I definitely think we had different styles, different ideas, different opinions on same games, things like that. So I think
there's no limit, man. No limit.
No, exactly. So, you know, well, we'll sign off. So yeah. Anyway, everyone say bye.
Bye, guys.
All right, man.
Peace out.
Easy, man.
Yeah. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.